Hi, everyone. This is Dr. Eurita Taylor, and welcome to another episode of Unleashing Unlimited Power. This platform is designed to invite our youth, our millennials, to come on board and speak about what's going on with them. They are teaching and reaching, motivating, and inspiring other young people by sharing their story on this platform. Today, we have with us Shakira Washington. Shakira, thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you.
Thank you for having me on.
Oh, you're welcome. So, what is life like for you as a millennial?
Oh my. I could definitely say it's trials and tribulations. I have went through a lot of different things growing up, and now I am an entrepreneur. So I have learned a lot of lessons along the way, good relationships and bad with all sorts of people, friends, um, partners, like relationship partners, parents, just all sorts of people, different types of relationships. And some of them go good and some of them go bad. And even the bad ones, you learn something from, you know what I mean? Um, so just taking all those lessons learned along the way, I began to find who I am. And within finding who I am, my husband found me, which is such a blessing. I have a beautiful daughter, and we're entrepreneurs. We're all entrepreneurs, actually. Everybody has their own little business. So, you know, I feel like I'm thankful and grateful for all the trials and tribulations that I've had thus far.
Okay, you said all of you guys are entrepreneurs. Do you mind sharing with us what business you're doing? And how is
Okay.
your daughter entrepreneur? How did she tie into that? I'm so excited to hear about that. Tell me.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so one day I was at home and I was just doing some little arts and crafts project. She wanted me to get her an airbrush shirt because she seen her aunt had one on. And I'm like, I don't even know where to get airbrush, but I could make you one. I had no idea what I was doing. No idea. So I started looking it up and I made her a shirt that said her name on it. So then she got really interested in that and said that she wanted to do it. So we started doing it on a regular basis, like a mommy and daughter hobby. So then one day I was talking to my husband and I'm like, I want to open a business. And then I kid you not, like this is going to sound too good to be true. Okay. So my daughter comes to me and she's like, Mom, I want to open a business. And I'm like, you're only 7. Like, what do you mean you want to open a business? Right. So she's like, yeah, Mom, I want to open a business. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, let me think on it. And then I'm thinking to myself, and I'm like, who am I to stand in the way of her being great? Like, what type of mother would I be? So I'm like, the next morning she has school, and I'm like, okay, well, I thought about it. What do you want your business name to be? This girl gonna tell me, Mom, my girlfriends and I are gonna have to talk about it over school lunch. I said, you already holding conference meetings. Like, what is this? What is this? Okay. All right. So she came up with the name Mystic Journey LLC. I am the co-owner of it just because, she's a little young. So that's how her business came. She makes clothes. I make some of the designs sometimes when she's nice enough to let me, because like you would not know this, but she is very particular, like very particular. And she loves to say, Mom, this is my business. I'm like, okay, all right.
Okay.
I said, look at the little boss. Okay.
Stay in your lane.
Right. I'm like, okay, let me run my little stuff over here. I got this. But yeah, that's how she became a business owner. She's been having her business for 2 years now. This is year 2. And she's doing pretty good at it. Her when we were in Arizona, her school actually bought a lot of her products for the games and to make the school shirts and stuff. Like it was very awesome for her. It was very awesome. So that's about her business. Now, my business, I just started it a couple days ago. It's called A Street Ashe. And I'm going to be making, soaps candles, body washes, scrubs, things of that nature. Everything girly, I'm gonna make some men stuff too, far as like body washes or loofahs or something for them, but I'm definitely more so geared towards women because I'm a woman and I know what we like.
Who
So
knows that?
right. So that's what I'm gonna do for that. And last year, well, actually this year for Valentine's Day, I opened my husband his business. It's called Jay's Global Lawn Care. I gave him a business for Valentine's Day, so
Oh,
he's
nice.
fairly new. He's fairly new, but he already has really good clientele. This was in the works when we were also in Arizona, so that's going. And we all are property owners now. So, I
Very
mean, I'm
nice.
so grateful and thankful.
Yes, I am just totally amazed when you talk about Journey and Mystic Journey LLC. I applaud you because one of the things that I'm hearing is what you're instilling in her, and it will take her a long way in life as she make her path. She will know what it means to be independent, having her own, and not depending on someone to take care of her because those things will be instilled in her. I applaud you for that. That is just totally
Oh, thank
amazing.
you.
And it's something I never thought about, doing a business for my sons. I mean, my children, they don't even want to hear anything about accounting, totally not at all, or even what I'm doing right here. So I applaud you. That's some good parenting skills you're instilling in her. And like I said, it will help her get through life. So send me the information so I could post it as well. When I post this
Awesome.
video out there, I could post it. So please remember, send me the website. And if you have a picture of a shirt or the game or whatever, I could always attach that to it and send it out
Awesome.
there.
Thank you so much.
Right. Yeah. So we're going to step back a little bit. And one of the things you mentioned is you have used the good and the bad from past relationships to help you push forward. Now, some of the times when we go to things and we feel disappointed, a relationship ends and we feel disappointed and we're hurt. How did you push past that to get to where you're at with such a positive outlook on life at such a young age?
Oh, thank you. I got there by really talking to my elders. The elders in your life, they're really amazing. Honestly, if you can get the right ones and talk to them, like they'll give you some really good advice. And sometimes they drop jewels and don't even realize they're dropping jewels. So that's fairly
Okay,
that
hold
I'm
on a
grateful for
second.
that.
Hold on a second. I'm not that old, but what does that mean, dropping jewels?
Dropping jewels. Yeah, so they'll give you a life lesson on accident per se. You know what I mean?
Oh, dropping jewels. Okay, I'm gonna have to try to use that one.
Nice.
Dropping jewels. Okay, that's a new one. I'm sorry. Go right ahead.
But yeah, they give you life lessons, and sometimes we don't want to learn them, or we think that they're being hard on us, but in reality they're just giving us what it is that we need, the tools that we need to succeed. you know um it's just like, for instance, um back in the day when I was younger, pre-child, my parents would say, don't hang out with that girl, she's no good, she's no good. But in my head, she's my best friend. And then come to find out, this girl doing drugs, she's doing this, she's doing that, she's always into something. And they were right. But it's not something that I wanted to hear. It's just like, no. We're so oblivious to things sometimes. It's just like, oh my God.
So
So,
what you're saying is that us parents, we can be right sometimes, and it's okay to listen to us.
oh yes, of course.
Oh, I
Of
hope my
course.
sons are listening to this podcast because it would be nice for them to know that it is okay to listen to me because you know how it is sometimes. But you have such a positive outlook though, that and you mentioned that you have been through a lot of things And knowing you personally, I know some of the things that you have gone through. What actually pulled you out of that? And I don't think that you have suppressed the things that have happened to you. I just think that you have worked past it. So speaking to the elders is one other, but you still have that, you have such energy for life.
Yes, yes. That happened by just accepting, people are going to be who they are. You can't expect
Amen.
for a person who is a kind of way to just change because you want them to. They're going to be exactly who they are, and even if they try to pose as if they're changing, you'll see that they haven't changed. You know what I mean? So it's just like you have to accept a person for who they are. Now, once you're able
Amen.
to do that, you're able to discern whether or not you want to go this way or if you want to go that way. You know what I mean? Every choice that you make is very impactful to the rest of your life, whether you know it or not. So, I mean, just take your time, think about the situations that's happening, and really use your discernment, because we were all blessed with discernment.
Oh, wow. Wow. I mean, you have said some things that are just so totally amazing. And you're right. When a person show you who they are, you need to believe them, because a person can change, but they have to want to change. And if they don't want to change, there's nothing you can do about it. So you're right. You're either going to choose to go left or you're going to go right. Oh, I got it right, left and right. Yeah, I'm amazing today. Thank you. Usually I can't get directions right at all. And but back to what
That
I was
makes two
saying.
of us, don't worry.
Thank you for that. And it's true. You now have to make a decision. Do I want to stay this way, or do I want to go this way with someone who doesn't see anything wrong and who's saying, I don't want to change and won't change? So I applaud you for that. And I know that, especially for someone that you care about, it's not that easy. It's just not that easy to make that decision and move forward. But yet you made that decision. And what I'm hearing you now say is you have met the man that you believe God meant for you to be with. Tell us about that. Let me drink some drink. Okay, go ahead. I am so listening to
Oh
this.
my goodness.
So what you're saying is that there's love after the hurt.
Oh yes,
The
it
sun
definitely
comes
is.
out after the storm.
Ain't that what they
Beautiful.
say?
That's
Yes.
what they say. So go ahead, tell us about your son. Now that you have pushed past the storm, tell us about your son. Let's
Oh my
go.
gosh. Oh my amazing. I don't even know where to start. Oh my gosh. He is everything. He's helped me in a lot of ways, to overcome some of my insecurities that I had, because like I said, in past relationships, I would like get body shamed because I didn't have the biggest chest, or I wasn't the curviest, or anything like that. He helped me with my self-image. He's helped me with my self-respect. It was there, but he took it to a whole nother level. You know what I mean? He is my rock, and I'm so grateful to have him. He's everything. Like, he's my best friend, and it's great to fall in love with your best friend because they know how you are, they know what to expect from you, and they know how to maneuver with it, in order for everything to just flow, and I'm just so grateful. Oh my God. I'm
So in
about to
other
cry.
words, you can be yourself. You want to take a minute?
Yes, I'm
You
so
can
grateful
be
for him.
yourself with this man, and you don't have to put on anything extra. You can just be yourself.
Yes, yes. He is amazing. He is so amazing. He is.
You need to
Oh
take a
my
minute.
gosh. Okay. Oh gosh, he's so amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, thank you.
Tears of joy are always good and always welcome. Because usually when a person cries because they're hurt, but I'm hearing that you're happy because you have met this man and you've married him, and he have helped you to overcome your insecurities. In my book, I wrote and mentioned, when a person love you, they should love you past your pain.
Yes. Oh yes.
So now you're saying that this man met you and he have helped you to get past your pain, all your insecurities, and help you to find who Shakira is meant to be. That is so
Yes.
awesome. That is awesome. And I'm sure you didn't expect that.
I was not expecting that. First of all, he wasn't even my type. He was not. Like, when I met him, like, okay, usually I like either brown skinned guys, foreign guys, or dark skinned guys. This guy is my color, okay? Was not my type at all. I looked at him, I was like, ew. Mm-mm. Like, that was my first impression. I kid you not. And then, like, I have a thing for guys that have long hair. I love long hair. This guy ain't got no hair. I said, oh my gosh, what is this? What is this? What have you sent me? Like, is this a gag right now?
Oh my God. That is funny.
Serious.
So what
I was
changed
like,
what changed your mind? What was it that he did, or what happened that changed your mind to give him a second look, or even the first look? No, the first look you didn't like him. So the second look, what happened? What changed your mind that you decided, I'm going to give this guy a second look. I'm going to give him a chance. Tell us about that.
okay, so this is all the same day of me meeting him, okay? I ended up not having a car. I was at one of my girlfriend's house. I didn't have a car, and he had come from out of town, and I was like, ooh, okay. So, but nobody knows him. So I'm like, that's okay. And I was just looking at him, like, trying to figure out if I could possibly like him. Like, you know, so
If there was any little thing to give you
yeah,
some hope. Okay.
yeah, like, I was single for a while, so I'm on the prowl, you know, and I'm looking at him, and I'm like, I just don't see it. I don't know. Like, and then I needed a ride to work. I had just started my office job. I was working for Visiting Angels at the time. I was a client care coordinator. And he was like, I'll give you a ride. And I'm like, well, I'm not paid for another week. And he's like, okay. And I'm like, oh, well, thank you. So that right there, I was like, well, thank you so much. You know, I was so happy. So he gave me my ride. And then he's like, I'll pick you up too. And I'm like, oh, so I get there and back? Okay. You know, so I was happy. So then, like, the next day he said that he would just be my ride to and from work. So I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Like, where did you fall from? Like, you know, I was so grateful, so grateful. So then one day we ended up going to the gas station on the north side of town, and he was like, he looked at me, he was like, you know what this means, right? And I'm like, what? Like, you know, just had to give him the stink look because I did not know where this was going at all. But it didn't sound okay to me at the time. So I'm like, what? And he's like, you're mine. And I'm like, huh? I said, no, I'm not. He was like, you're mine. I was like, yeah, okay. And when I tell you he said I was his, he showed me why I was his. And it wasn't in a sexual way. Just everything he did was about me. From that moment, from the day we met, literally from the day we met until now, everything is me and Journey, you know, and that's how he got me.
Oh
He was
my God.
very assertive, and I accepted it. You know what? Sometimes you just got to say, okay, and go with the flow.
Love it. I absolutely love it. Oh my gosh, I absolutely love it. So tell me, my next question. So you guys met. How long after that did you guys get married?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we were messing around with each other for a couple years. And then one day I was just like, you know what? You got 60 days left.
No, you just doing the time clock.
No, I really did. I really did. If he were here, if I had a device to call him right now, I would have his voice tell you I gave him a time clock. I am not kidding. And he was like, huh? And I hung up. Like, there's no more talking. I left it just at that. So he ended up coming to the place that I was at as soon as he got off work, and he's like, we need to talk. And I'm like, okay. Like, I'm ready for him to break up with me at this point because it's far too good. It's far too perfect. I don't know what I did, but thank you. And I'm happy I did it, you know? So he comes and he's like, 60 days. I was like, do you need 30? Like, yes, like I started cracking down on him, okay? I really did. Like, I was not playing because deep down inside, like, I really liked him. Like, I knew it was something more than lust. It was more than lust, you know? So I'm just being assertive and I'm standing in my power and I'm like, look, either you're gonna take me or you're not. That's how I was feeling on the inside. So next thing I knew, he proposed, and then like within what, let's see, 21, 18, so 18, 19, 20, 21. We were engaged for 3 days.
3 days.
3 days.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
You were serious about 60 days, making it 30.
Yeah. Serious, because it was far too good for me not to be his, you know?
Oh my gosh, that is so awesome. Oh man. And
Serious.
it's true, you know what? Because sometimes men, they just drag their feet and they just take forever. And they need us to give them that push because it's
Mm-hmm.
like, dude, we've been together for 2, 3 years. You already know what I'm about. You should already know what you want. How much longer do you need to make up your mind? And if you're comfortable, some of them won't even move at all. So I applaud you on giving him that 60 days. And have you ever regretted it?
No,
Good job.
no.
Good.
I
That's
haven't had
good.
any regrets. I mean, of course, every couple get into their spats, but what I love about our arguments, and I know a lot of people can't say this, but I like to play video games, and he does too. So when we get into like a really nasty argument, we'll say, get the sticks. And that's like the game controllers or whatever. And we'll get
Uh-huh.
on the video game and we will fight it out on the video game. Like, we will stay there until we're done arguing. Like, until all of that pent up
Energy is
anger,
gone.
upsetness is out of there. And then we'll probably go get something to eat and some ice cream. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's how I like to handle my arguments. He agrees. So it works for us, you know?
Oh my gosh, that is awesome. That's good.
No, thank
And
you.
yeah, that's a healthy way of handling it because it could go the other way where this physical, it gets physical, one is hitting the other, calling each other names and everything. So you're saying that you guys have found a way that works for you guys, even though in those moments where you're not getting along. So you're there in the game and you're like, oh, I'm in the game, and you're doing that. And then before you know it, you probably forget what you were fighting about, huh?
Yeah.
That is awesome. Now, whose idea was that?
That'll
You're
be
a
me.
genius. You're a genius through and through. And I know that probably comes from, past experiences where you don't want to go down that road again. You want
Mhm.
something different. And it all boils down to, maturity. You're mature and you want something different. You don't want the yelling and the fussing and the cussing. You just want something different while knowing that two people will disagree. And it's okay to disagree, but to bash each other or to make the other person feel like they're worth nothing, you're saying, no, that's not what I want. We're going to handle this differently. I applaud you on that. That
Oh,
takes
thank
a lot
you.
of it takes maturity and also, intelligence, because you're
Thanks.
saying you love this man. So when you love someone, it's not about making them feel as bad as you can make them feel, but also, say you're embracing the difference in each other and trying to find a way to work it out.
Mm-hmm. For
That is
sure.
totally awesome. So let me ask you
Thank
another
you.
question. On those days, let's shift a little bit. The days where you're feeling down, because we all have those days. And you're a very vibrant young woman, your smile is beautiful, and you have a lot of energy. But we all have those days where no matter what we do, we just can't get that to keep going. What does it for you?
Oh, okay. It's my family. It's my daughter and my husband. What they do, well, what we all do is at the end of each week, we have a goal we have to meet. And if you don't meet your goal, you got to take everybody out to wherever they want to go, you know.
Okay.
And Journey, she's a little bougie, okay? She loves to holler like Red Lobster, you know. Yeah,
Oh,
like
expensive
the
taste.
girl is a, yeah, she loves seafood. So her favorite place to go is Hibachi Grill. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, dang, for three of us is like $45. Like, do I want to spend that? Nope, better get up. Like, so that's how I get through it, you know. And plus, I have a great support system, which is my daughter and my husband. And if they ever see me like down, I remember for 1 week, I had like the worst menstrual cramps ever. And every day they would bring me cereal, but I would have different kinds of cereal. It would be Cheerios, but then I would have banana Cheerios or blueberry Cheerios or strawberry Cheerios, but these would be fresh fruit, you know? And then like he would come rub my feet while she give me my food. So it's just like they're amazing.
Oh, that is beautiful. That's
Yeah,
awesome. That's awesome.
thank you.
You just mentioned something that is like my baby of all babies. You mentioned now one spend $45 on the food because that's a lot. Now, knowing you for a long time, I know how you are about saving. Are you
Yeah.
still saving the way you
Oh,
normally do?
actually, I have come up with a tactic to save more money faster. I've learned how
Oh,
to save $1,000 a week with having my regular spending expenses. So I've gotten a little better.
are you teaching Journey also how to save?
Oh, yes, for sure. When we're done talking, if there's a chance that I could email you, I'll be able to send you this book that she's reading. It's called Money, and it teaches you how to spend, save, and earn cash.
Oh,
And
okay.
that's a book that she's reading.
Oh, wow. You getting
Yeah.
her ready. You getting her ready for society, you know? I'm preparing you. You know, have your own business at 7 years old. Learn to save money, learn to spend money. You're instilling some really good quality stuff in her. And that's amazing.
Thank
That's
you.
really good. That's something that is not, you don't hear most people talk about. Yeah, I used to teach my boys how to save money and not to spend my money recklessly, but that's because I didn't have a lot of money to spend. But as far as, you know, getting into owning their own business, I've never done that with them. So I applaud you. You're doing great things. You're doing really
Thank
good
you.
things. Now I need to ask you a question that I've asked all my other guests. What are your thoughts on the suicide rate going up among our young people? I'm sure you're hearing it on the news and the radio. What are your thoughts on that? And what advice would you give, if any?
um, my advice is nothing is that bad. You know, no matter what you go through, there's always a tomorrow, which means that there's a chance for a brighter day. Even if it rains for 100 days, on day 101, it could be your sunny day. You know, so don't give up on yourself. That's the advice that I have for them. As far as the rate going higher, um, I wish honestly the rate wouldn't even be something that we spoke about, something that was even um, a thing for us to know about. That's what I meant to say. Not that we spoke about, but something that wasn't even in existence, you know, because it hurts everybody. You know, they have to be in a very, very traumatic pain in order for them to end everything. And it hurts me to even discuss matters like this because it's just so powerful and it's so deep, you know, and it's sad that they felt they didn't have anybody to turn to help them or to at least converse with them in order to ease their mind, even if only for the moment, you know. And whew, it's just it's far too much for me to handle to even converse about
Right.
that right there, that because it hurts me to even think about it, you know. So
Yeah, because it's so final.
yeah.
And you're right. I can only imagine that they're thinking, you know, that they're alone. And that's part of the reason this platform is here. And I'm reaching out to young people to come and speak their truth, because some of the times they feel like they're alone, but they need to know they're not alone. I have had thoughts where I feel like I'm alone, and I'm like, why does it hurt so much? Why am I in this world doing this thing alone? But I wasn't alone. And if someone that is not in a good place tap into one of these interviews that I'm doing with you guys, and they could hear it, they're not alone. I'm sure it will make a difference for them, because in those moments, you just feel like nobody cares, but somebody cares. And maybe more than just one person cares, but in that moment, it's just to bring them back so they could see, well, life is worth living. Because I'm sure as you were going through some of the things that you have experienced in life, you didn't see a way out. You didn't see that wonderful husband in the future. You didn't see journey in the future. You didn't see a business in the future, but you pushed through it. And you're sitting here today now speaking to me, and you're saying, no matter what I went through, I am here. I made it. And this is what can happen to you if you just keep pushing through.
Definitely.
Shakira, is there one last thing that you would like to say to my guests before we break? Because we're almost at the end of time here. What is one last thing you'd like to share with them, give them advice, or something that you have learned along the way that you think will encourage or motivate someone?
What I would like to give as advice to everyone is choose yourself first.
Good advice.
Choose yourself first. Love yourself, because if you don't love you, how can you love someone else? You have to stand up for what you know is right, and don't let people, excuse me, and don't let people just love bomb you. You have to see through that stuff. And I know that it's easier said than done because I'm on the outside looking in. But remember, you have to choose yourself first.
Awesome advice. I couldn't have said it better myself. And that's what I like about the advice you guys are giving, because when you hear it from your peers, you're better able to receive it sometimes. And that's great and wonderful advice you've given them. Shakira, thank you so much for joining me today. Please remember to send me the information for Journey's business so we could post that. Hopefully she'll get some customers and enhance her business. You are doing amazing. It was a pleasure seeing you. Keep that great smile. Keep pushing. Don't give up on what it is that you're doing. And please, and I know that you're doing this. I know God is in the midst of your life, but keep him in your marriage. And that man that you're smiling about today, 10 years from now, you'll still be smiling about him, because God will keep you guys bounded together. Thank you so much for joining Unleash Unlimited Power. If there's anybody who would like to be a guest on the show, please send me an email at unleashingunlimitedpower@gmail.com. You can follow me, Dr. Eurita Taylor, on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Pinterest. Shakira, thank you once again for joining in. I'll let you know when it's posted so you can see it. Thank you. It was awesome.
Likewise.